Hey, what's going on, guys? It's your boy Nirmanon, and I'll be doing a gameplay commentary over some Battlefield 3. It's actually been a sufficient amount of time since I've talked about Battlefield and or really played it, to be honest with you guys, but I'm hoping to clear that thing up and we'll be digressing right into the commentary. But with that in mind, guys, I will be playing on Operation Metro with the M16A3. I know it's a very controversial weapon. A lot of people don't like it. They consider it a very overpowered weapon, but it'll make more sense when I jump into the I guess, upcoming information related to the commentary, and it'll make more sense to why I'm using this particular weapon. I will be playing on Conquest with a really ridiculous amount of tickets. That's not something I'm very used to, considering I did come from Xbox 360, and my statistical standpoint on that console is a lot higher than it is on PC. I think if on Xbox, if I am correct, my kill death is 3.25, and my score per minute is around 900, which is pretty good on console. That's a pretty noticeable, I guess, player, I guess if you want to say in that perspective, so it kind of means I understand how Battlefield works. I am Colonel 100 on Xbox 360 with 10 million XP over the max limit, and I guess that's something to take note of. How does this relate to PC, and what kind of a player have I taken up on the PC side of it? My kill death is like 2.10, and my score per minute is about 650, so I'm not as good as I am on the console side of it, but that's kind of in, I guess, relation to the fact that I don't have that many people to play with, and I don't really have the ability to communicate with people, considering that PC has a very strict policy to how you can communicate. I know you can use Skype and TeamSpeak and all those other social media, I guess, plugins, but I kind of don't go to TeamSpeak because I tried it one time and there was some little kid yelling in there and I decided that wasn't for me, so I guess I will stick to the chat side of it unless I find people that play Battlefield and are willing to want to play with me. So if you guys want to take up that ability, check the description of the video. My origin and all that fun stuff is down there, so you guys can add me on there, and I look forward to playing with you. So anyway, guys, the commentary will be mainly subjected to the topic of Battlefield 4. I really want to talk more about E3 because it's kind of a big thing. I've said this many times. But Battlefield 4 was phenomenal. I would say, and hands down, that it probably made E3 what it was this year. I think it probably took the crowd. I think many people are looking forward to it. And even if you're a Call of Duty guy, Ghost did very well. I understand that. But I think Battlefield 4 really introduced the innovation side of it. I think they really appealed to the audience of destructibility and more or less just player customization. So I guess that's where I stand. I mean, Call of Duty's probably going to have a really good story. Call of Duty usually focuses very heavily on their story, and they're really good writers over there. Congratulations to them. But the multiplayer is good for about a couple of months, and then it starts to see a lot of problems. And I know you can tell me if I'm wrong, but in my opinion, I think Call of Duty definitely takes a little bit of a hit on the multiplayer side because it takes so long to get patches out to fix their game. But that's an opinion. I cannot act like Battlefield 3 was a different story, because Battlefield 3 definitely had a lot of problems in the multiplayer side as well. And the campaign was, to some people, it wasn't great, but I thought it was a really good campaign, and I really enjoyed it. So that's where I stand. In regards to the multiplayer side of Battlefield 4, it looks amazing. Oh my goodness, I cannot wait. Destructibility is going to be of the highest priority, it looks like. It looks like combat has been reintroduced in different formats. It looks like customization for each individual player is going to be of a priority now, instead of it kind of being something where it's not really a priority in their eyes. And what I mean by that is it looks like you'll have the ability to customize your own character to a different field. And more or less what I'm trying to centralize my thoughts about is I'm saying that you can have the ability to add camos to your particular weapon. Clan tags will probably be back. I think we didn't really see that, but it's probably going to be something that's pretty consistent. It was on pretty much, as far as I know, most of the Battlefield titles, and I couldn't imagine them wanting to, terminate that kind of an ability. You also have the ability for, obviously, your players' camos. I didn't really find Battlefield 3 camos to be that impressive. Most players ran with black, considering that it was, in my opinion, one of the best camos to have, just because it made you slightly harder to see, considering that there are shadows in Battlefield 3. And, if you're like me, you play on full brightness, but there are still shadows, even if you do play on the highest brightness level. So it's kind of an improvement, I guess, in a sense, to hopefully add more of the camo side of it. Hopefully there'll be a lot more of the higher priority. It looks like the classes have been rebalanced, and a lot of the equipment has been, placed back into an appropriate slot. It's hard to say as of the moment. I know a lot of people have commented and speculated that C4 is back on the recons, or C4 is still back in support. I hope it goes back to the recons, because I would like to see the snipers become a little bit more useful than, being 2.5 thousand meters away from the objective. I know some of you guys will tell me that's how they're supposed to play. I understand that, but it ruins the experience on console. You got to remember, I came from Xbox 360 with 12 versus 12. And if you have, 6 jackasses sitting in the back of the map, sorry for my language there, but that's how it stands. It's not a very fun experience and it ruins the game. PC, you guys have no problem with this. You guys can have 12 guys snipe. I don't care because I don't ever notice. And half the time it looks like the recon guys are usually doing quite a bit. Console and the other story, that's a completely different circumstance just because you almost need every player to really play the game, I guess, in the best sense. But hopefully they'll rebalance it. Hopefully everything will come out looking the best. I know they added a bunch of just different attachments and stuff for the pistols. It looks like you can have a red dot sight for your pistol, which is really cool. The iron sights look really good. They cleaned up a lot of stuff. You'll have the double sights. The campaign for Battlefield 4 looks phenomenal from what we've seen, and I look forward to it. I think it's going to be just an amazing title, obviously. I mean, Battlefield has always been a really good title. It's always been a title that I think most of us kind of understand how it goes, but it's always been a very, very successful title, and I look forward to playing it. Obviously, I will be buying it for PC. I don't look forward to buying it for the Xbox One or the PlayStation 4, as many of you guys know. I am getting both consoles just because I do have that luxury, but, you know, to many people, I think the PlayStation 4 will probably be where a large majority of people seem to be going as of this standpoint, and we'll talk about that later in a different video. But I guess to really centralize my commentary and really allow you guys to understand what I'm talking about, I think E3, the success of E3 this year was probably due in part to Battlefield 4 just because of how successful it came out. And I'm not saying that in the generic standpoint like a fanboy kind of way, but I think it probably won over the crowd, and it looks from the response from a lot of the Battlefield community and the Call of Duty community that it looks like it's going to be a very successful title. It looks like a lot of big YouTubers will be picking it up, and I look forward to seeing what kind of content that the fan base creates. Obviously, Titanfall looks like a good game, followed by the sheer fact of Call of Duty Ghosts will probably be good for about a couple of months until we start seeing problems. Maybe there won't be problems, but it's Call of Duty, and that's usually how it works out. But I guess that's about all I got for you guys. I would love to know what you guys thought about Battlefield 4. Please let me know. I think the tanks are going to be great. It looks like they're really re-centralizing the vehicle's movements, and they're making everything a lot more clean. So hopefully everything will be really cool, and I look forward to seeing that skyscraper fall down on the idiots that are sitting in the water. That should be a lot of fun, and until next time, guys, let me know what you think, and this is NMO, and I'll be signing off a little bit early. Peace.